Hi, this is Deniece Williams, and I'm listening to Dirty B on 22.3 TOVR.
I'm writing a book. Actually, I'm writing 2 books, but I'm writing a book. Yeah.
Okay. And what? Okay. So 2 books. Let's take them one at a time. What's the first one about?
The first one is called Bringing Out the Queen in You, and it's based on the book of Esther, when they gathered up all the virgins to take them before the king. They had to go to 1 year long of beautification before they could go before the king. So the book stresses the different things that they had to go through. The first chapter is they were chosen. They were chosen. They went through, kind of like a this is a Miss America. He sent them out to go get all the pretty virgins, but they were originally chosen to do what they had to do. And once they were chosen, they were taken to the palace. And so the second chapter talks about the fact that they had to take off their old clothes, which talks to us about if we want to move into our future, we have to let go of a lot of our past. And so they had to take off their clothes. The third chapter is on taking a bath. And I talk about the various oils that were used to cleanse them, purify them, as well as the various oils that they used on them that a lot of us use today, even in aromatherapy. So that chapter outlines aromatherapy. And it goes on and on through the process of what they went through before they were allowed to go before the king. And that we all have the opportunity, and also we can choose to be queens ourselves and how we treat ourselves. I'm here. I'm 75 years old this year, but I refuse to go out wrong. I want to tell women how to take care of themselves.
That's amazing.
I prayed about it. I said, God, I'm going to get older. And I said, but I want to be like Lena Horne. I flew into New York to see Lena Horne. She had been in this club in New York, and she was only supposed to be performing for 2 weeks, and 2 weeks turned into 18 months.
Wow.
And then I heard from my friend at Sony Music saying, she said she's had enough. She wants to end the show. So I said, not before she tell me what she drinking.
It's in the water.
It's in the water. So I flew to New York, and my record label got me a ticket to go in and see Lena Horne, and I met with her after the show, and I just said, Lord, I want to go out like Lena Horne. I said, she is beautiful. She's not looking her age. And I said, all she got to do is tell me her secret. The only thing she said to me is, baby, I've heard so much about you, and I can tell from your voice what people say about your voice. I can hear your voice. She said, just take care of yourself. And that was enough. When she said, just take care of yourself, I said, that's what I'm going to do. And so I am writing this book to show women how to take care of themselves, and what to do to remain healthy. It talks about diet. It talks about what you eat, what you're putting in your body. It talks about your spirituality, what you're feeding your mind, because a lot of times we're feeding our mind a lot of garbage, and we need to turn that negative garbage thinking around and put it in a positive sense. The Bible said, I can do all things through Christ that strengthens me. And so that's my what I believe. I can do it all. Whatever the all is for me.
Okay.
Fantastic.
And that's just one book, y'all. That's just one book.
And now, is this out to be purchased already?
I am finishing it up, and it's going to go online and on my Facebook page.
Fantastic.
And the places to sell, and on Amazon too. We'll just do the whole gamut of the book being available to people. So I'm excited because more than anything, the idea behind the project is to help people, help women. And so many people say, what are you doing? What are you doing? And I said, girl, God did it. But in the meantime, there are things that we have to do to take care of ourselves as well. So that's what that book is about.
All right. Sounds like a good one.
Yeah.
Okay, now what's number 2? What's number 2?
Number 2 is called Things That Grow in the Desert.
Okay.
And it's actually about my journey with my youngest son, Logan, who was a heroin meth addict for 12 years.
Okay.
And how he came out on the other side. It's his story, and my story is being a parent that was codependent. That, you know, I thought I was doing things to help him get away from that life, but I was just enabling him to continue in that life. You know, I know one time I put him in a rehabilitation situation out in Malibu, California, 45 grand a month. And when I finally went out there, you know, to see, they had a cook from, the chef was from Cordon Bleu. He was living in a 5-bedroom house, this fabulous multi-million-dollar house. They was having massages and therapies and all this. I told the director, how can I come?
Sign me up.
You know, what I gotta do to get a room and to get the chef and to get the massages and all that. I said, no, he's up in here living in the lap of luxury.
Right. Is that place still around?
It's still around.
Okay.
And I'm he walked right on out of there, you know, so many years, and my son Kevin is here, he can tell you, so many years of trying to do as a parent and mother what I thought was really going to help him. But the bottom line is nothing changed until he called me one day and I said, nope. I said,
You hit your bottom.
you stay right there in jail. And I know you got the money. I said, it's not about me not having the money. It's like, if this is the life you choosing, I'm going to lead you to it. And I'm going to, you know, because God had asked me one day, do you trust Logan to me? Do you trust me with Logan? I said, what you going to do to him?
Well, you're the mother, so I get it.
That's right. So I said, please don't maim him or kill him or nothing like that. But the minute I handed him over to the Lord, the minute I, you know, released him to God, that's when my baby got well.
There you go.
He's well. He's now drug-free for a little over 4 years.
Yeah.
And my baby got well when I stopped being a codependent. So Things That Grow in the Desert is a book about our journey.
Okay, I respect that, and that does need to be shared because there's so many people out there dealing with addiction, and there's parents that just don't know when to stop, when to hit their rock bottom and say, you know what, baby, this is you now.
I said, if this is the life you want to lead, then I'm going to release you to lead it, and you will lead it without my help, certainly without my money. You know, I'm going to leave you to do it. And he was, you know, very angry with me.
Right.
You know, and I said, I don't care. You can be angry with me, but this is me loving you. And you know what? This is me loving myself.
Correct.
Because I was suffering, you know, people never knew how I was suffering through that whole time. And then I'm working on a third book. It's called How Ruth Got Her Man.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll tell you
a little Stella with the groove. What we looking at here now?
I called him I said, Frankie, you're not playing my song. Why are you not playing my song? He says, you know, you're a little too pop. I said, listen, I said, you should play my song. I said, you want me to do something for you. I need you to do something for me. And he still wasn't playing my song. So about a week or two later, he called me up. He said, I'm so tired of this. I said, you tired of what? He said, I'm getting 35 calls a day from these women requesting silly. I said, well, they're playing.
I hear you.
I said, they requested it, then you should play it. And he started playing it in New York. But he said, yeah, I'm getting 35 calls every day from these women wanting to hear this song. I said, thank you, Jesus.
I heard this song on the air and I went like, wow. And I fell in love with it ever since then.
Thank you.
Now I take my time. 3 weeks.